There's a moment in everyone's life when the world feels just a little off. You walk down the street and two people glance at you, sharing a secret you're not part of. Most would shrug it off, call it coincidence, but deep down you feel it. A strange shift in energy, a pattern beneath the surface. That's the first crack in the veil. When I first experienced it, I thought I was losing my mind. One odd interaction, sure, but when they stacked up, it was impossible to ignore. Manipulation isn't a grand performance. It's small, subtle, a series of coincidences that make you question your sanity. This is how hidden manipulation works. It creeps into your life, making you doubt yourself. Its most powerful weapon, isolation. Once you believe no one will understand, you stop talking, you pull back, and that silence gives manipulation room to grow. But noticing the pattern isn't weakness, it's awareness. Your senses are sharp enough to pick up what others overlook. The first step, observe without reacting. When something feels staged, just note it. Mentally record it like a camera would. The second step is to document what you see. Keep a journal. Over time, the fog lifts and you separate paranoia from pattern. The third step is the hardest. Stop blaming yourself. Your awareness is proof of resilience, not weakness. If you felt that shift, know this: you are not alone and you are not broken. You've begun to see beyond the veil. If this resonates, like this video, share it, and subscribe. We're building a community where awareness is power. This is only the beginning. When you first notice cracks in the world around you, it feels like standing at the edge of an invisible stage. Suddenly, the ordinary becomes suspicious. Glances feel heavy, conversations carry undertones you can't quite name. You start to wonder, am I imagining this, or is there something more going on? To understand it, you need to look at the mechanics, how hidden manipulations operate. Once you see how they work, you stop feeling powerless and start becoming an observer. That changes everything. The first mechanic is mirroring. You scratch your head, and someone across the room does the same. You mention, time feels strange lately, and a stranger repeats those words. Coincidence? Maybe. But it triggers something inside you. The second mechanic is synchronization. People move as if they're coordinated, and it feels staged. Then there's gaslighting, which attacks your trust in yourself. You point out something odd, and the response is denial. Environmental manipulation creates disorientation, lights flicker, objects shift. These aren't random, they're designed to keep you off balance. Social pressure can chip away at your sense of belonging. A room falls silent when you enter. Laughter feels too well timed. All these tactics create a constant drip of doubt, wearing you down over time. It's the accumulation that matters. So, what do? First, observe without reaction. Just note it. Don't spiral into panic. Second, document everything. Write it down. Patterns will emerge and confusion will lift. Third, anchor yourself. Grip something, breathe slowly. This rewires your nervous system. Fourth, reframe your perspective. See yourself as resilient, not hunted. You're stronger than they think. Finally, connect with others. Share your experiences. You're not alone in this. The mechanics of manipulation rely on secrecy. The more you observe, document, anchor, reframe, and connect, the less power they have. So the next time you notice these tactics, pause, take a breath, reclaim your steadiness. Once you grasp the mechanics of manipulation, the next challenge is how it feels. These tactics, like gaslighting and social pressure, aren't just tricks. They take a toll on your emotions and relationships. I remember one night staring at my wall, unsure if I was exhausted from the day or from being constantly on guard. Manipulation steals your rest, even in silence. The first layer is isolation. It disconnects you from others and even from yourself, leaving you in a cage of silence. Next is mistrust. You start questioning every gesture, every smile. It eats away at your ability to connect with others. Then comes exhaustion. Living in hypervigilance drains your energy, leaving you restless and tired even after a full night's sleep. And finally, self-doubt. When you're told your perceptions aren't valid, you begin to second guess yourself, corroding your confidence. But here's the truth. These emotional tolls don't mean you're weak, they mean you're human and you've been under pressure. So, how do you navigate this without losing yourself? First, acknowledge it without shame. Name your exhaustion and isolation. It's the first step to healing. Second, practice self compassion. Talk to yourself like you would to a friend. Remind yourself of your strength. Third, reclaim your space. Carve out moments where you choose what happens in your life. Fourth, seek safe connection. Find someone who listens without judgment. It breaks the spell of isolation. Finally, reframe solitude. Choose solitude as a place of strength, not punishment. It can be a forge for resilience. The emotional toll of manipulation is real, but it leaves scars that prove you survived. You are not broken, you are stronger than you know. After living under the weight of manipulation, something surprising happens. You start to notice the cracks in the performance that once felt flawless. I remember the first time I saw it clearly. A group shadowing my every move until one of them slipped up. That was my turning point. Once you see the cracks, you can't unsee them. Every manipulation has limits, and timing can fall apart in an instant. These little imperfections show that the whole act isn't as airtight as it seemed. Someone laughs too late, or a phrase feels off. The illusion of power is what makes manipulation work. But when you see the mistakes, the illusion crumbles. Noticing the cracks is empowering. It gives you back control. Shift your perspective and use those cracks to your advantage. Look for inconsistencies. Pay attention to what feels staged and what doesn't. It's all flawed and fragile. Practice non-reaction. When you refuse to play your role, the script falls apart faster, exposing the awkwardness. Find humor in the performance. It's absurd how much effort goes into something that can fall apart with one missed cue. Use awareness as your shield. Once you understand the tactics, you start predicting their moves before they happen. Choose not to internalize. The manipulation isn't about your weakness. It's about their need to control. It doesn't define you. Every script eventually collapses under its own weight. Manipulations are exhausting to maintain, and no one can keep it up forever. When you train your eyes to look for mistakes, the fear that once controlled you starts to fade. So next time you see the script play out, watch closely for the slips and hesitations. This isn't flawless, it never was. Once you see the cracks in the script, the illusion shatters. The fear that once gripped you starts to loosen its hold. And that's when the magic happens. You reclaim your power. For too long, hidden manipulations thrived on your doubt. But when you step back and see the flaws, you realize power comes from within. I remember walking down the street feeling the same rhythms around me, but instead of tensing up, I smiled, understanding their desperation. That calmness, that choice to remain steady was my power. Reclaiming power starts with a decision to stop playing the role handed to you. It's about seeing yourself as the observer, the anchor, unyielding amidst the chaos. So, how do you reclaim your power? Step 1, redefine your identity. You are more than a victim. Step 2, control your reactions. Choose calm over chaos. Step 3, create anchors of strength, daily practices that remind you of your power. Step 4, build genuine connections. Isolation weakens you, but connection restores you. Step 5, turn awareness into wisdom. What once felt like paranoia becomes intuition. Reclaiming power isn't about fighting fire with fire, it's about stepping out of the script. Every time you choose calm, you chip away at the illusion. So remember, you are not powerless, you are defined by your resilience. Reclaiming power is a practice. Choose clarity, connection, and strength. If this resonated, like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can break the silence. The veil is never as thick as it seems. The real power was always yours.